everyone, and welcome to the Circuit of the Americas for round 13 of Division 2 here in the Midwest F1 League. I'm Hotspot, and today here we are in Austin, Texas. 20 corners make up this 5.5 kilometer anti-clockwise circuit with 11 to the left and 9 to the right. 2 DRS zones here, but the main goal is simply going to be getting as few penalties as possible. I remember that was kind of a difficult thing for some people to handle in the F2 race on Wednesday. And I'm sure we're going to get a lot of the same here. I know a lot of these drivers have been complaining about why this track is on the schedule. It's honestly a mess. This is my home Grand Prix as well, and I don't even really like the circuit that much. I'm also closer to Montreal, but, you know, it's whatever. I think it's not terrible. I think just Sector 1 really needs to be reworked, and I think a lot of drivers agree with that as well. It's just, those S's are just a mess. So we're going to be looking to see how people handle that. I'm assuming turn 1 is going to be a mess as usual, but, you know, you never know. It could be actually really exciting as we get ready for our first few takers for qualifying. So just a couple driver notes for you. With Kate Thomas moving up into Division 1 full-time now, our old friend Forza Juve will be taking his seat in the AlphaTauri. However, Juve couldn't be here tonight, so he's being replaced by Tatch, or Tiach 91. I'm not going to be able to pronounce it, so I'm just going to say Tatch. I hope that's okay with you guys. Also, Vespon's reserving up in Div 1 tonight, so he's going to be replaced by AP7 in that Renault. Or should I say Alpine? Alpine. I can't tell. I can't tell with I'm actually not entirely sure what the difference is, honestly. So it looks like Ray 46 is going to be the first one out on track. Going to be the first one to put in a timed lap. Also, Money Matt, he's getting his first taste of Division 1 action tonight as a substitute. So Mahi has taken his seat in the Alfa Romeo. And then finally, with OP Magic out tonight, MX is making his Div 2 return in the Haas, so it's very highly anticipated, so should be fun to watch. See, Ray is one of the few drivers in the field that has selected to fit the mediums for his qualifying run. It's an interesting choice, to say the least. Who's he got in front of him? That'd be K-Dog. So it looks like K-Dog is going to be the first person to make time. Nope, I lied. It's the other Racing Point. It's Heavy S is going to be the first one making a timed lap. So we're going to ride along with him for the timed lap so we can get a good layout of the circuit, talk about some of the problem areas on this track. So here comes Heavy S through turn 20. Into the main straight, and the lap has started. So this first corner, the biggest elevation change corner in Formula 1. I think it's about 135 feet of elevation change or something like that. It's a lot. You want to have a good line going into that, or else it's going to make the rest of turn 2 and then after that 3, 4, 5, and 6. So basically, if you really just get a good line out of that first corner, all your problems will be solved. And we can see he's actually doing a really solid job here of making a good lap. Here he is through 8 and 9. You can take up a lot more curb in turn 8 than he did there, and then 9 and 10 you can really just pretty much cut across the curbing on the inside of the track. So that's going to be a little bit slower of a lap than he'd initially like, but still going to be a good one at that. And here he goes through the DRS section as well. So here we are, 12, 13, and 14. Not much to complain about here, though. 13 and 14, it appears a lot wider of a corner than it really is. It's actually a very tight corner, and you know, if you mess up your line going through there, that will be a big problem for you. And then coming out of 15, there's a little dip in the corner by the bollard that's there. People tend to spin on that a lot. Pretty much through 16, 17, and 18 you can take flat out, and then 19 and 20, basically, there's not really much to do here, except on the exit of 20, be sure to not go too wide as to exceed track limits, because that might be a problem that we see today. But really the biggest spots for the penalties that we're going to see is through Sector 1, and Heavy S does have the fastest lap so far. A couple cars crossing the line behind him. Ray 46. It's setting quite a bit of a slower lap behind the rest of the field now. I think him and K-Dog may have actually had some sort of an incident in turn 11. As you can see, Heavy S's lap has been deleted here. Looks like JXW is making his way through the S's now. JXW, that's okay. Well, okay. So we've actually got 2 reserves tonight. Must have missed that. So MX and JXW in the Haas seats tonight. Completely missed that, if I'm honest. I didn't realize that was a thing. Look at me not having my notes prepared. So JXW is actually putting in a pretty solid lap so far, despite being on the medium compound. Here he has a bit of a lockup going into 13. It's going to hurt his time a little bit. So Sadistic King, our current points leader, about half a second off provisional pole at the moment. Let's see where JXW comes through here. This is his first timed lap of the session. Through the DRS section, and he's going to go up to 4th. That's a solid lap from JXW. I'm going to turn off my notification sound. The thing on my phone tends to mess up sometimes, so it says it's on silent. It's actually not, so if you hear my ringtone again, don't worry about it. So currently Heavy S still on provisional pole. Smith Pell in the McLaren. He's put himself up to 3rd currently. Still a lot of time left. That's surely not where he would like to be at this moment in time. Who else do we have on a timed lap currently? Adaltonian. He looks like he's on a timed lap. So Ray 46 has improved his time. He's now 2.5 seconds roughly off the provisional pole. As we see, Super Ninus has jumped up into 4th. So let's actually go over our team standings at the moment. Coming into round 13, so still a very close battle at the top of the standings. Only a 2-point gap between 1st and 2nd. Ferrari's at 342, McLaren's at 340. Then it starts to get spread out a little bit. We actually have a tie for 3rd place. Both Williams and AlphaTauri at 307, so this is going to be a big race for those 2 teams. And then as we go back, Red Bull sitting at 235 in 5th, Renault at 205, Haas at 196, Mercedes at 179, Alfa Romeo at 156, and then Racing Points at 143. So a couple little bumps and changes in the standings since last race. Not much, though. Heavy S still sits atop the session at the moment. As you can see, Super Ninus letting someone go by. That's going to be Spool and Dog on, I believe, what is his first lap. Yes, it is. See how he handles this corner going into 12. A bit of a lockup, but I tell you what, he's actually done pretty decently. He's doing the right thing, going wide into 13. Gives you that good exit of 13 and then into 14. Doing really well so far. Maybe a little bit slow going into 15, but I don't think it's hurt his time that much. Round 16, 17, and 18. Into 19 we go. So exit of 19 is another one of those places where you can violate track limits, but it's not as commonly seen. And Spool and Dub's going to jump up to 8, so not the best lap he's capable of, but a solid one at that. Who would that be on the time lap? That looks like AP7. Yes, it is. AP7 in this Renault. So the Renault team, they really need a solid result here. They have the ability to go above Red Bull. It's not out of the woods yet. However, they will start to They really need to start putting in some work here. And this Renault team really shows flashes of excellence as well. And I'm just not sure why they haven't gotten the results, just really dumb luck that they've been getting. Which is quite unfortunate to see, because at times this looks like one of the stronger teams in the field, and then at other times it looks like it's toward the back. So they really need to step it up just a little bit. They're on the cusp of being really, really good, and I think going into next season, assuming some of these drivers stand around or stay around, this Renault team could be actually really exciting to watch. For now, they battle for 5th in the constructors' standings. Hash 9211 has jumped up into 3rd since we've last checked on him. JXW in the Haas, sitting in 6th currently. So JXW is on his outlap. So is Smith Pell up there in currently 4th, as he's going to come to the line and start his timed lap now. It would appear he's also put on fresh softs as well, since we've last seen him. Just wondering what it could be. So Smith Powell, he's doing a good job so far. Here he is through 11, going into the DRS section. Gonna have both Haas's in front of him. And MX is going to give him his line back as he goes through now pretty much 15. That's only one corner. That's kind of surprising to me. It's like, that's a decently long corner. A couple kinks in it as well. But here he is now through 19 and then 20. Let's see where Smith Pell is going to end up. JXW has taken provisional pole at the moment. He's put about half a second back on 2nd place, and Smith Pell is going to jump up into 3rd. Solid lap from him. Heavy S has really been putting in some solid qualifying results recently. Been up close towards the top of the leaderboards every session he's in. At least these last 3 races, maybe beyond that. Had the Racing Point team shown this bit of life that we're seeing now earlier in the season, I tell you what, they might just be up there, or they would have been, but. So Heavy S, is he on a timed lap at the moment? I think he might be. Well, he's going to be going through 19 and 20 now. And now he's going to be coming into the pit. Oh, God! So Heavy S has just Charles Leclerc the pit wall. And, yeah, that was fun to watch. Goodness me. And you can tell as well, he did not make up his mind. He was already halfway through 20, and he just did not, he could not make up his mind fast enough on whether he wanted to go into the pit or to continue the lap, and we've just witnessed that. Interesting stuff there, to say the least, but I tell you what, he's put in a solid enough lap to where he could possibly stay close towards the top of the field. About 5 minutes left in this qualifying session, so you never know. As Sadistic King in the Williams, he's on his outlap now. Sadistic King's had a little bit of a lull in form recently, not to his discredit, though, because he's still leading our championship standings. However, you know, last week at Russia we had that big conundrum at the start, and then prior to that he's had a couple tough races as well, so he'll be looking to keep putting together some solid results. as Sadistic currently makes his way into Sector 3. Let's see what Sadistic can do on this lap. This next time lap that he's going to be coming out on. Sui in the Alpha Tower, he's also going to be on an out lap, as well as K-Dog, Saffron, and then Domingos back in 17. Gee, Domingos has not had the qualifying session that he would have liked to this point. However, Sadistic making his way now up the hill into turn 1. Let's see what kind of line he uses. He's going to cut it short. He's going to keep it a bit wider, and Tatch has made his way up into 3rd. What a lap from him. He's put himself into the top 3. This AlphaTauri team has been looking very, very strong recently. And I tell you what, I was really skeptical after Cake Thomas moving up into Division 1 full-time, but I tell you what, with qualifying results like this, granted these aren't the final standings yet, but however, that's going to be pretty good to see, actually. Sadistic King through turn 11. Got about a second gap between his best time and pole currently. Nothing he can't make up, though. He's got a couple cars in front of him, including Mahi, and Mahi's going to do well to leave him the space, though it looked a bit awkward as Mahi was also in the braking zone. Sadistic setting a personal best Sector 2, or going purple in Sector 2. I'm not sure if that's personal best or what it is. I always get confused on that, if I'm honest. Takes 15 very well. No tire spin whatsoever. I think we could be looking at a lap that goes provisional pole here. Through 19 and then on to 20. He's going to stay within track limits as well. This is going to be a really good lap. Handles 20 nicely. Doesn't get too much of the curbing on the outside. He's going to go 3rd. So a very solid lap from Sadistic King, taking off about 0.5 of a second off his best lap prior to this. Still about half a second off provisional pole. JXW in the Haas is on his out lap, currently on provisional pole. The home Grand Prix for the Haas team. What a result that would be if they'd qualify on pole and then possibly get onto the podium. Minute and a half to go in this session. Got the majority of drivers out on track right now. See the Mercedes, I believe that is Detail that is coming out now. One of them is already on track, and that is going to be Detail coming on track now. JXW is going to be making a timed lap now. So I've just learned from Sui, who's put in the Discord, purple Sector 2 and then invalidate, and I'm assuming he's talking about possibly exit of 13. You can go pretty wide there. That is certainly a possibility. I've done it plenty of times myself. It's not unheard of, as we are under a minute to go in this qualifying session. We've got a yellow flag over in Sector 3. JXW getting a bit wide there on exit of turn 9. Into 11 he goes. Does pretty well. Into the DRS section. 20 seconds to go. Nobody being able to knock off the Haas yet. There's still a couple cars coming to the start-finish line on the end of their timed laps. In fact, we got a Mercedes coming through right now. That is somebody beginning a timed lap. That is Impossible Bacon starting his timed lap. So Sadistic King will be taking 3rd, Ninus in 4th, Tatch in 5th. JXW is coming through Sector 3 at the moment, going into 19 and 20. And he's going to pull into the pits. So Smith Pell, and Smith Pell's going to go really wide there, and he has invalidated his lap time. Oh, and he might hit the barriers again. That's the second driver we've seen hit the pit road barrier. Hash 9211, now he's coming through he's going into Sector 3. Through 15. Hash 9211 starting to become one of the stronger drivers in this division. Let's see what he can manage. Can he possibly get onto pole here? Barely stays within track limits there. And now into 20. This looks like a solid lap. Takes up a little bit too much of the curbing on the right side on exit of 20, though. He does go fourth, so a very solid lap from #9211 in that Ferrari. And so we still have a couple drivers making their way through Impossible Bacon. He's coming through Sector 3 now. About 2.5 seconds off the pace at the moment. Here he is through 20, taking a little bit of a wider line going into it. Keeping on the curb on exit. He's going to go 5th. What a lap from Impossible Bacon to go 5th. Solid top job there from him. Now, I believe the only one left on track. No, I think that's actually about it. So JXW in the Haas. What a solid performance from him on provisional pole. Heavy S in the Racing Point. What a solid performance from the Racing Point team, specifically Heavy S. Actually, I believe K-Dog's up there as well. We'll have to look in a minute. So JXW getting pole. It's Heavy S in second. Sadistic third. #9211 fourth. Impossible Bacon fifth. Ninas in fifth. Tatch in seventh. Ninas in 6th, Tatch in 7th, Smith Bell 8th, Swee in 9th, AP7 the 10th, 11th is Ray, 12th is Bull and Dub, 13th Adaltonian, 14th Domingos, 15th K-Dog, 16th Saffron, 17th Mahi, 18th GDB, 19th Detail, and then rounding out the field in 20th is MX Bloxham. So actually pretty interesting there how the Haas goes 1st and 20th. What a interesting turn of events there. I don't think MX didn't even complete a timed lap. So interesting stuff there, but nicely dispersed field here, nicely diverse within the top 10 going into this race. Right, well, anyways, 20 seconds to go here, so AP7, MX, and Sadistic King, and Adaltonia being the first to hit that dreaded X button on the start. But you never know. Could be nothing. I didn't. Plus, to be completely honest, I wasn't even really looking, but we've got the film in case it happens. Seemed a little quick, but... So here we are here with our formation lap. Let's put all this on, yep. So JXW taking pole, and what is the first time I've seen him in Division 2. I'm not sure if he's actually raced in Midwest F1 before, but taking pole position in what I'm confident in his first race in Division 2 is. That's got to be something to be proud of. And then behind him's Heavy S in the Racing Points. I believe that was his best qualifying result of the year. In fact, I think the best qualifying result for the Racing Point team of the season. But Sadistic King, our points leader, sitting in 3rd at the moment. So let's see what kind of line he takes into turn 1. I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit of a conundrum going in if really hoping Money Matt incident doesn't happen. All love to Matt, don't worry about it, just jokes, just jokes. For those of you that missed yesterday's F2 race, well, I'm not even going to go on about that, kind of don't feel like getting in trouble, so, but yeah, hopefully we don't have a big pile-up going into 1, which is very possible, but moving back down the field, #9211 in 4th. He's really, I don't want to say he's on the outside looking in, but he's definitely one to keep an eye on, especially on this start. Impossible Bacon in 5th in the Mercedes. One of the better qualifying results for the Mercedes team this season. Super Ninas in the Renault in 6th, pretty solid for him. Tatch starting 7th, not terrible. Could be worse. Smith Pell back there in 8th. Swee in 9th, kind of a mediocre result for Swee. He is capable of a lot better. So we'll have to see. Detail back there in 19th. One of the slower qualifying results we've seen out of Detail. Usually he is a rocket in qualifying. So we will have to see how that plays out. This camera angle is actually garbage. The default one that the game is giving me. There we go. That looks a little better. Why is it just on his front wing? Anyways, okay. Looks like we won't be going to JXW for just a minute, or if we do. No, let's go with Heavy S. This angle looks better. Alright, here we go. For the Circuit of the Americas, 5 lights. Lights out, and away we go here in Austin, Texas. Heavy S gets the much better start off the line. He's going to have the advantage going into turn one. Sadistic King kind of trying to get into the middle a little bit. JXW playing it smart and going wide. Heavy S keeps taking the lead on the start, and it looks like everybody got through one pretty safely. Heavy S taking the lead there. Solid stuff from him. Sadistic King still kind of sitting there in third. JXW playing it really cautiously. May have actually messed up his line a little bit going through 5, but he's kept on the end of Heavy S. Hash 9211 and Impossible Bacon getting in a solid battle for the 4th spot here, then Tatch right behind them as they come down the hill from 9 and 10 and into 11. Really solid racing this is, nice and clean off the start, and if you're choosing the one-stop strategy, you will be pitting on lap 11 for those medium tires. No DRS yet, however, a very solid start this is here, and it looks like JXW is going to be going around the left-hand side for the lead going into 12, and is he going to get it? He has actually shoved Heavy S a little bit wide on exit of turn 12, however. Very solid start here, very clean racing. Haas 9211 keeping that 4th spot. Sadistic King now, can he possibly be looking to make an overtake shortly? JXW getting really wide, actually, in turn 15. Kind of not the best line he could have had through there. But look at that, we've made a solid first lap so far. I don't want to speak too soon, because you never know what can happen. Sadistic getting really late on the brakes there, actually almost too late. He's really kind of cost himself a little bit of ground. However, through the first lap, it is JXW with the fastest lap. And it looks like what we have here, it looks like Hash 9211. Can he possibly get around Sadistic going into the corner? The answer is no for now. Though a very solid look there by Hash 9211. So, solidly close battle going through the field currently. MX is gone into the pits for some reason. Yeah, he's lost a hefty bit of his front wing on the right-hand side. So we look further down the field. I believe that is... who could that be? That's Sui currently. Everything is going wrong. Okay, give me a minute. Give me a minute. We'll figure this out. So anyways... so it's Sadistic King still a little bit behind, but here's Hash 9211, Bacon right behind him still. It's going to be a very close battle, however, Bacon now has Tatch behind him. So that was Swede that was kind of off the pace there, currently sitting back in 19th. I wonder what's happened to him to cause that sort of fall from grace there. He's lost 9 spots since the initial start. As they go through 15, it looks like, oh, and Hash going to get really wide there, almost exceeding track limits. If he did, that's surely a warning, but never know. So there is no gap outside of 1 second all the way down to 12th. So we are going to be having DRS this time by, and let me tell you, this is going to be something special to watch. As I say that, JXW has built up a 1.5-second lead on Heavy S, though behind him it's going to get really dicey as Sadistic King and Hash 9211 both going to be having DRS this time by, not to mention Bacon, Hatch, Tatch, and Nito's behind him. They go through the S's of 4, 5, 6, and then exited on 7. And it looks like Tatch might be able to make a move on Impossible Bacon here shortly, as they go down the hill and into turn 11. This whole train of cars is going to have DRS this time by, and the move to watch is probably going to be Sadistic King and Heavy S as they head to the DRS section. This is going to be a close one when they get into 12. Not the best overtaking spot there is, however, it is very possible, and Sadistic King trying to make that move to the inside work, and he is going to get it. Nicely done there from Sadistic. Oh, but he's going to be taken back by Heavy S as they go into 13. Wow, some solid racing here side by side for this second spot, and it looks like Heavy S is going to keep it for now. But it looks like Tatch and Bacon battling it out for the 5th spot. Really solid racing here so far. And so Heavy S is pretty much the sitting duck at the moment. He doesn't have DRS on JXW. Just 2.5 seconds off the leader now. And Sadistic has the DRS this time by. So is he going to try something going into 1? That's not exactly the best place to to try to make the move, but he's played it calm for now. Though a couple drivers behind him might not have that same idea in mind. And Heavy S currently in second place. 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and I can assume he's done that trying to get into 6th, trying to get a solid line into 6th. Because not only has he received the 3-second time penalty, he's also lost about another 0.3 of a second, so it's very possible that is what happened. Ailtonian also picking up a 3-second time penalty. So this is pretty much the battle to watch here from about 3rd on down to 6th. This 5-car battle here, possibly, for that 3rd spot. Well, that didn't make any sense, sorry. I know math, apparently. From 2nd to 6th, really. Oh, so I was right, it was. I can't do math, I'm so sorry. Anyways, ignoring that, it didn't sound correctly at first. I then corrected myself and found out that I was after all correct. So it looks like Heavy S is still kind of the sitting duck here. He's only got about half a second gap at the moment, though it looks like Tatch might also be getting overtaken, might overtake Hash shortly. Hash has been looking a little squirrely on exit of some of these corners, and it looks like Tatch is going to try to get the wider line to cut into the corner more, and it's been very close there. K-Dog picking up 3 seconds. So this little train of cars here have been very entertaining to watch so far. Meanwhile, JXW built up almost a 3-second gap on 2nd place now. We'll check back on them in just a minute, though it seems Saffron and K-Dog might be in a battle here. Saffron on those medium tires, he's gone for the opposite strategy. Instead of starting on the softs, like a lot of the field, he's actually started on the medium tires. Oh, and there he goes, picking up 3 seconds. That's another thing, these medium tires, you wouldn't believe it, but going from the mediums to the softs, that is a big difference in grip that you have, one that you really need going through that Sector 1, so I'm not surprised. Oh, Heavy S just fallen all the way back. What could have happened there to Heavy S that's made him fall back all the way to 13th now? That I don't get. Something must have happened there, and I unfortunately did not pick it up on camera. However, Saffron making the overtake. Can he get the double on both BWT Racing points? And no, he can't for now. So only a couple drivers choosing to take the medium strategy, only 3 to be exact. Ailtonian, Saffron, and Spoolendog. Mahi currently the only driver on the field on the hard compound, and while Saffron, something has happened to him to cause him to go very wide there. How much front wing could he be missing? Yeah, he's going to be overtaken by GDB here, possibly going into the corner. They touch coming into 20. And GDB, lots of contact there. However, he's gotten the overtake for now. He's also got the DRS. So I'm assuming something happened between Sadistic and Heavy S there, because as you saw, Heavy S had about a half-second gap on Sadistic not too long ago, and maybe going into 11 they could have spun, because as you saw, he was quite wide and had just really fallen off the pace for some reason. Well, this is an interesting angle that I've never seen before. So Sadistic, can he be under pressure from Hash this time? And the answer is yes for now. I love that angle. So going into 12, Hash breaks really late, gets a majorly wide exit to 12 there, holds on to the position for now. It's still side by side, and my camera is no longer working. There it goes. So Hash keeps the position for now. Possibly some movement towards the midfield, and Domingo's going to pick up 3 seconds. Hook car battle here. As we move up the field, this little group of 4 cars, I mean, overtakes can be happening very shortly here. This is going to be fun to watch for sure. All 4 of these cars have DRS, except for currently Hash 9211 in second place. Sadistic, ooh, he did not get the line he really wanted going into turn 1. That was a lot wider than his previous laps have been. So he's going to lose possibly a couple tenths to Hash. Oh, and he's gone over a little bit too much of the curving there, though it doesn't pick up the penalty, though we do see Tatch picked up 3 seconds. So still this 4-car group. Now they're coming into the DRS section. Sadistic still right on the rear end of Hash. What a battle this has been, and it looks like can Tatch possibly be making the move on Bacon going into 12? Oh, Bacon wants him to have the outside, and he's going to take it. Oh, it's side by side. Tatch getting a big lockup, though. Can he still get the position? Looks like for now he's going to miss that opportunity. However, he's still right there with him. Into 15. Impossible Bacon maybe got a little wiggly coming out of 15 there. As we know, that is a big spot where people tend to spin. And we have a yellow flag over in Sector 2. That is a racing point of, I believe, Heavy S. Something's happened to him to make him go off track. The group before with DRS yet again. Oh, and it looks like Tash could be making the move this time by. Bacon is going to play some good defensive driving. He's gone over pretty much the entirety of the inside curve, but he's kept the position for now. Somehow didn't pick up a penalty. Kind of surprised over that. That was surely all 4 tires off, but you never know. So this 4-car battle for the lead. Oh, is that Heavy S again that's gone off? And yeah, Heavy S is well into the grass. Oh, and he's spun it again. What is happening to Heavy S right now? MX has just picked up 3 seconds. So the majority of the field now with penalties, as it's been for quite a little bit now, actually, but I just chose to ignore it until now. Meanwhile, an overtake possibly coming into, where are they? Going into 12. And Tatch is going to get that position for now. Impossible Bacon actually getting pretty loose out of 12 there. Maybe made contact, not really sure. However, he does have the position. Super Ninus and Domingos, they're not too far off this race for position here. Smith Pell done a great job in 6th currently. Let's get back up to the position change. Yeah, Smith Pell's made up 2 since the start, so the biggest move is going to be Domingos, currently 5 spots since the beginning of the race. Heavy S, the biggest mover in the opposite direction. He's currently lost 18. And so the pit strategy is happening now, and JXW, okay. Couldn't tell you what happened there. A lot more lag than I originally expected, but I mean, that's what it is. So Hash is now our new leader. So these top 3 or 4 drivers, probably the top 6 right now haven't come in yet. We've just only got into the pit strategy now. We've actually got another car off in the middle there. Tell me that's not Heavy S again. And yeah, it might be. Yeah, he's on the inside grass, and now he has lost a bit of his front wing, and that angle is not helping me because he stood still. So Sadistic King now within half a second on Hash. Oh, he's going to try to get the outside. Sadistic, could he try to swoop down and get the inside? Forces Hash to take up a lot of the curb on the inside of 12. Somehow didn't get the penalty for that. Oh, they are bumper to bumper here as they head through Sector 3. Possibly an overtake to be made here very shortly. I'm sure Sadistic would like to have that happen before he has to make his pit stop. Tatch not too far behind. Smith Pell back there in 4th, kind of a little bit further out, however, not too bad. As we look back, JXW, can he possibly be making a move on Domingos here shortly? And Hash 9211 and Tatch going into the pits, as well as, no, Sadistic King's actually stayed out. Wow, so interesting strategy there from him. Trying the overcut. Possibly an overtake this time by JXW. Is he going to get it? Tries the left-hand side, and yeah, he's going to get this one comfortably. So drivers coming out of the pits now. Hash 9211, our previous leader, he's actually come out on the hard tires. Oh, goodness me, he's almost made contact with Bacon on exit. So Bacon's on the medium compound. I'm not sure why Hash has chosen the hards. That doesn't sound like it was supposed to happen, because these drivers coming out, had they made the one stop, they would have just stayed on the mediums the entire race. And there goes Bacon picking up 3 seconds. That is so unfortunate. And I know I said before you could take up a lot of curbing on turn 8, but not that much. That is mega unfortunate for him. MX picking up another 3 seconds. Where does that put him at now? 12 seconds of penalties. Here comes Tatch in that AlphaTauri. Could he possibly make a move on Hash 9211 within the coming laps? Oh, and there goes Hash around the outside of Bacon. It's very close side by side here. I'm not sure. Hash is doing a really solid job of keeping up, though, however, being on those hard compounds. Again, a surprise to me, as these drivers, a lot of them, the normal strategy was just to go on the medium. So, interesting stuff there. Sadistic King making his stop. So Smith Pell's going to inherit the lead for now. Behind him, Ray 46 hasn't pit yet. JXW's made his way up into third. Sadistic King making his stop. It's probably going to be a race on pit exit here between some of these drivers, and it looks like Tatch and Hash 9211 battling for this position going into 1. Maybe a little bit of contact there, but it looks like Tatch is going to get the position for now. And he might... Well, Tatch... Oh, he has stopped. So Tatch is going on the 2-stop strategy. Either that or he started on the mediums. I can't remember exactly. But Hash 9211 now picking up 3 seconds. And as you can see, he's on those hard compounds. Those do not have any grip whatsoever to maintain your car, keeping it within track limits. So that is unfortunate for him. A little unexpected as well. He's been doing a great job so far as to keep that car within track limits. JXW and Ray paddling for second position. Nice moves here. A little bit close contact there. Ray barely missing out on the rear bumper of JXW, but a solid overtake nonetheless. School and Dub and Domingos battling it out in 13. Oh, and Domingos gets really loose, almost collecting Ninos behind him. Yeah, Domingos has been having a couple lockups here. Side by side they go, and Super is going to get that position for now. As Smith Pell's going to come into the pits, and Ray has stayed out yet again. So Ray's got a lot of confidence on these soft compounds. Maybe he's just waiting for the field to get a little bit more dispersed. Either way, he's going to be losing a handful of positions when he does pit. However, JXW, currently our leader, does not need to pit. Probably. Never know, things could happen. So most of the tail end of the midfield here, positions 10th through 14th, only one of them has made that stop. That is Smith Pell. The rest of them have not stopped yet. Virtual safety car. What has happened for us to require a virtual safety car? Has anyone actually seen what's happened? Because honestly, that was kind of out of the blue. Ray is really just kind of ignoring the Delta, unless he doesn't need to. I mean, he's going a little bit faster than I would have originally seen him. So are these drivers going to have time to complete the pit stops? Probably not. I mean, most of them are only coming through Sector 2 now. So I doubt that's going to be happening. So if you are Ray 46 and Adaltonian right now, you are not happy with where this safety car where this virtual safety car has come out, because now you're going to be losing even more positions. And I tell you what, Ray was actually making some significant ground on the rest of the field despite not pitting yet. So that is very, very unfortunate for him. And so back to green flag racing we go. Tatch, Adaltonian has stayed out again. Ray finally taking his stop. Saffron City's picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Adaltonian under pressure here going into the corner. It's side by side. Oh, wow, Tatch has taken up the entirety of the inside curbing, and Adaltonian's letting him know about it. Maybe a little bit of touch in the rear there. And someone's really gone off over in Sector 3. That is Mahi, who has lost, just the entirety of his front wing. Very reminiscent of, wow, so he's received 10-second time penalty, though something has happened to where he's lost that front wing. I was about to say, reminiscent of Daniel Kvyat at, I believe it was the Nürburgring this season. Could be wrong. And Mahi has just straight up retired from the session. So Mahi and Heavy S are only 2 DNFs so far. So a 10-second gap back on second place now for Tatch. Hash 9211 currently sitting in third. And he is very much under pressure from Impossible Bacon here. Shall we look at the penalties? So Tatch up there in second has 6 seconds worth of penalties. So pretty much the rest of this field is going to be based on just where they come out from the penalties. It's going to be based on track position for the most part. I think Sadistic is the only one really at risk of losing positions, possibly Adaltonian as well. And I'm assuming Adaltonian, oh no, he's already pit, so good strategy from him, I suppose. He's currently second, so I tell you what, worked out pretty solidly in his favor. But so this really is a battle for position here with Impossible and Hash. Both these drivers have 3 seconds of penalties. Though if I were Bacon right now, maybe just try to force Hash into a mistake to make him have a penalty. Ooh, and yeah, he's almost picked up another one there. And Adaltonian picking up 3 more seconds, so that puts him at 6. Unfortunate for him. Oh, here we go. Can Bacon make the overtake this time? It's going to be close. I'm assuming he's got a lot more pace on the medium compound. Here they go into 11 side by side, and it looks like Bacon's going to have it. Oh, that is closely contested there. Still side by side. AP7 picking up the penalty. Hash didn't even have the DRS that time, but he's actually going around Impossible Bacon anyways. What a display of pace there from Hash 9211. How he's done that, kind of beyond me. But made the overtake he has. Didn't even have the DRS. He's done that super well. Bacon getting a little bit squirrely out of 13. Hash going really wide there on 15. Keeping it within track limits, though. So basically, Tatch 91 has this... I mean, he's got the position for now. Actually, well, he's just at the fastest lap. Hash 9211's at about 5.5 seconds behind, so right now it's going to depend on if Tatch can continue to put in fast laps and keep that gap above 6 seconds, about 5.5 now, so another 0.5 of a second, and he will be keeping that second spot. Though Hash 9211 has 3 seconds of his own, that is true. Okay, math I don't understand. We'll be getting to that when it comes time. So Hash 9211's done a solid job of keeping the position for now. Side by side here, and Domingos has gotten around K-Dog. K-Dog kind of glitching all over the place. Not really sure what could be happening there. Go up through the field. Adaltonian didn't get the best exit of 11 that he possibly wanted. And Super Nina's having that position, though Adaltonian does have the DRS. Back up through the field. Can Sadistic possibly be finding a move at some point? I think Hash 9211's actually allowed Sadistic to kind of come back up towards the field, and Hash has gone really wide again on those hard compounds. So now a 3-car battle for this third position. All of them with 3-second penalties, so it's really just going to come down to who gets the position. This is a battle for third place right here, with or without the penalties. So very tightly contested here. These are the closest cars to each other on circuit. The rest of them a little bit dispersed. Well, so this has gone pretty wide there on exit of 18, or 19. Oninas does, I saw a little bit of a wiggle of him coming out of 20 in the corner of my eye. Sadistic now, can he get the overtake this time? And it's going to be side by side with him and Bacon. And wow, Bacon actually kept that position nicely and kept it within track limits as well. Bacon not allowing Sadistic to have the preferred line, and Sadistic King going across the curbing in turn 4 and picking up 3 seconds of time penalty. That puts him at 6 seconds, and he is surely going to be losing many position from that. Oh, and what's just happened there? Sui is nearly taken out Sadistic. He's braked and tried to let him go by at really the wrong moment. Gee, nearly a humongous incident there. Domingo's now picked up 3 seconds. And so is Sadistic going to get the overtake this time by on Bacon? The answer is yes for now. Bacon's going to get pushed pretty wide off the circuit, and Sadistic is going to get that position. I tell you what, he's racing pretty hard for someone who's going to lose that position anyways because of his penalties. But very nicely done on the overtake, I will say. But Impossible Bacon is not going to let him have it that easily, that's for sure. Sadistic King on the fresher tires out of actually everyone in the top 5 at the moment. Bacon doing a good job keeping it within the second gap, though. Just hit something. So Hash9211 has managed incredible pace on this hard compound. And it looks like the Division 4 race has just wrapped up. Impossible Bacon now picking up 3 seconds. Goodness me, so Hash9211, who I thought was going to be losing positions, is probably not going to be losing too many at the moment. He is now the only one in the top 5, other than our leader JXW, without a 6-second time penalty. However, I'm still concerned that these guys in the mediums behind him have the superior pace. I mean, if you look, Sadistic King's on the mediums. He's actually on fresher mediums than pretty much everyone on the field, as GDB picking up 3 seconds. So is Hash going to be able to keep this position? I'm not entirely sure that he will be able to. It's going to be close, that's for sure. So Bacon trying to keep himself within that second barrier on Sadistic King. These two here, Sadistic and Bacon, surely is a battle for position. I think Ninus is going to get the position no matter what. Oh, and as I say that, Ninus coming into the pits. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out. Bacon's been taking those entries to 1 a lot wider than everyone else. Sadistic's been the one getting pretty wide on exit, but Impossible Bacon's looking like he's had the best line going through that section of track. And Sui is going very slow here. And yeah, he's going to let Schoolin go by as well. There is a red X on Sui's marker, so I'm not really sure what that means, however. Possibly just the internet then that's doing that for him. Surely not driver error, though it could be. Never know, never know. So now the field's starting to get a little bit more dispersed again. We've got Hash9211 has put on over a second on Sadistic King. Impossible Bacon still within the DRS, but he's on 2 lap older tires, so that's going to be something to watch. Spoolin, can he make the move on AP7 this time? And the answer is no for now. GDB's just retired from the session in the pits. Sadistic King maybe going a little bit wide there. Oh, and Tatch is going into the pits. Why is that? They're not telling me they need to make another stop. I mean, I can't see how that would be possible. They pitted on 7. Part of me really thinks they could have went the whole way, but does that mean we could have another round of pit stops and secretly Hash's soft to hard strategy was the one that paid off? I don't know. I mean, really, I'm not sure why Tatch has gone into the pits. Did he possibly get wing damage from someone? I'm not entirely sure. So 3 DNFs, GDB, Mahi, and Heavy S. Heavy S, I was really upset seeing him DNF because, as you know, he started in 2nd and just did not have the day he wanted. I think maybe Sadistic made contact with him earlier in the race, but we'll have to look at that at a later point. So let's look at the penalties. So positions 3rd through 5th, all in 6 seconds. So realistically, Sadistic needs to pass Hash to get the position, realistically. So Sadistic needs to pass Hash and then make 3 seconds a gap to keep 2nd place. Where is Ninus going to come out? I mean, he's pretty far back, though. You never know. He could make up a couple spots here. I think he'd only be picking up 7th, but still. Ray 46, not too far behind Tatch in 5th. I think he'll be making up that spot pretty easily. Bacon and Sadistic. You can see they're really taking their time through the S's as to not pick up another penalty. So this is pretty much just going to be a game of chicken on who gets the penalty. And, oh, Bacon maybe didn't get enough traction through turn 9. Or 8, I mean. Looks like AP7 has overtaken K-Dog going into 1. And that would be the case. K-Dog not out of the fight yet. You can see K-Dog is really taking her time through. Oh, and... Oh, okay. Alright. Alright. Gonna ignore that's happening. Anyways. So this battle for 3rd. Still intense. I mean, I'm not sure what... Bacon is not pushing as hard as I'd like to see him push at the moment. He's just taking his time, which, I mean, that could either be to conserve the tires or just not pick up any more penalties. I mean, both are reasonable. Oh, and we are going to have another round of pit stops. So Hash 9211 secretly had the best strategy, though it is going to be a race out of the pits. It looks like Hash is going to get it for now, though JXW has gone to the softs. So now does that make Hash the sitting duck? Hash on the hard compounds, I didn't think they'd have to stop twice, but they did, so whoever was on the mediums had to stop twice, and JXW picking up 3 seconds, so now this becomes a battle for the lead. For position. Oh, goodness me, this is shaping up to be confusing, but exciting at the same time. AP7 picking up the fastest lap here. JXW, is he going to try to get the position on Hash going through the corner, nearly making contact? Answer is no for now. Though as they go through the DRS section, I'm sure JXW is going to be able to get it. Yeah, he's going to use the entirety of the slipstream there. And so, all but 2 drivers in the field currently with time penalties. Actually, JXW is going to get a big lock up there going into 12. But nicely done so far. I mean, JXW's been the driver to beat all day so far. Whether he keeps this position, we'll have to see. So Tatch has made his way back up to 3rd. Solid result from him so far. This field is going to get even more dispersed with the pit stops that we're making. I did not think, I was not sure why Hash had to make the 2nd stop, because if you remember, when we were looking at the tire strategy in the beginning, it only said 1 stop, and it was from the softs to the mediums. I'm not really sure. I mean, maybe it was just a glitch in the software. I'm not really sure. So it looks like Ray is within that 6-second barrier, though he does have another 3 seconds of time penalties. But it looks like Ray is catching Tatch for that third spot. Hash now starting to fall off as JXW on those soft compounds. I don't think it's going to be any match for Hash to get that position back, unfortunately. Domingo's picking up 3 seconds of time penalties. So as we predicted at the beginning of the race, this is going to be decided by penalties. A lot of it is, at least. And that lead has officially grown to 3 seconds for JXW at the top of the field. Ninas gets the DRS this time by. Doesn't look like he's in the position to make an overtake, though. Maybe next lap. Might happen. Field now starting to get really dispersed, so we'll stick around with Super Ninas for now. In the soon-to-be Alpine. JXW setting the fastest lap. So Tatch has moved. Well, Ray is now outside that 6-second mark to third place. So it looks like Tatch is going to be keeping that position for now. And for me, I think this is one of his first races in MidWest F1. A solid job from him. Now, I say that, but we're going to take a brief intermission here because I've actually never seen... I mean, realistically, I've never seen this man before. It should be Forza Juve. Oh no, that's the right guy. I'm just stupid. You know, I said in the beginning of the show that Forza Juve wasn't going to be here today. How much my mind travels in the span of one race is beyond me, but okay, so development here, Tatch has now gone up to 9 seconds in penalties. Goodness me, it just keeps getting harder and harder for Tatch here, honestly. He managed to put on 6 seconds, almost 7 now, to Ray 46. However, he's now got to tack on 2 more seconds within 5 laps. Gonna get the overtake this time, Super Ninas? The answer is no. Possible Bacon could be making the moves on Sadistic King shortly. Sadistic has fitted the softs. Look at the tires. Yeah, so both of these guys on lap hold soft, so it's really going to come down to who has the better lines and who has the less amount of downforce. Possibly even whoever gets the least amount of penalties. You never know, there's still 4 laps to go, 5 laps to go. Some drivers could pick up more penalties, as we just saw Tatch 91 do. Oh, and Ray 46 picking up 3 seconds of time penalties, so now he's got even more work to do. Super Ninas picking up 3 seconds time penalties on. So the only drivers that have yet to pick up time penalties are Smith Pell back in 60th, and then Swee behind him, who I'm pretty sure Swee's a robot at this point. So I don't know what to believe. So pretty much I think Tatch has the pretty much has third place sorted out. The rest of the field, though, I'm not really sure what to believe. I think this is just going to be a battle for position amongst most of these drivers in the midfield. As we see here, Sadistic, could he possibly be making the move on Ray 46 very shortly? Not too many laps to go here. Lap 25 of 28. Oh, and Sadistic saving himself from going wide in 19. Oh, and Sadistic got the much better line out of 20 that time, and surely he's going to be getting this position side by side up the hill. And Ray's actually on those medium tires. 11 lap old mediums. So, I mean, yeah, I guess maybe it is possible to go the whole time on the mediums, as we've seen Ray doing, but I guess the better strategy to use was the soft to medium to soft again, so as Bacon picks up 3 seconds time penalty, that puts him at 9. Ooh, is Tatch going to be getting this position on hash 9211 here coming up? It's possible. He'll have a lot of work to do to make up 6 seconds on him within 2 or 3 laps, but you never know. It's possible. Look on the tires. Yeah, so he's probably not doing the right one. Okay, yeah, so he's on 5-lap-old medium, so this overtake could be coming here very shortly. Possible Bacon trying to make moves on Ray 46, possibly. Doesn't look like it's happening for now. And there goes hash 9211 picking up another 3 seconds of penalties. So now this could possibly be anyone's race for the second spot. Tatch has more time penalties, however, he's now within a reasonable expectation to where he could make pass hash within these next 2 laps and make up 3 seconds. This is going to be interesting here at hash forcing Tatch. Oh, that's an interesting move there from Tatch to shove him up the right side of the track side by side, and hash giving him no room whatsoever. Very aggressive driving there from hash. As you can see, Tatch just has the pace to get around hash at the moment. However, hash doing some solid defensive driving. Oh, and there goes Tatch picking up the 3 seconds. Oh, goodness me. I think at the moment, though... Oh, and there he goes. He's just ran into hash in the rear. He's gotten into him side by side. So these 2 drivers for second and third, they get into each other again. Very, very aggressive driving going on here. Tatch 91 and hash 9211 getting into each other multiple times. So the extra 3 seconds that Tatch got this lap, that wasn't to hash's fault. That was to his own error there. However, certainly you could you find it a reasonable expectation that Tatch was not happy with hash's defensive driving going through turns 1 and 2. So now look at this. So now there's almost a second gap already. However, we are on lap 27 of 28. JXW, I mean, just give him the paper to read, might as well. Tatch has got, the 12 seconds of penalties. He'll have to make up 6 seconds of time somehow on hash 9211 within this next lap and a half, and I'm not sure that's possible. Unless hash gets another penalty at some point, and then all he's got to do is put on 3 seconds. So we're going to go along with hash here at the moment. Actually, as I say that, Nunes, can he make the move on Adaltonian through 1? Nunes has been trying these last probably 5 laps to get around Adaltonian. Adal probably doing some solid defensive driving, though unfortunately we haven't checked in with him that much. To my own fault of simply wanting to check the leaders. My apologies to Nunes if you make that overtake and we don't get it, because this is interesting stuff here. So hash 9211 sits on 6 seconds of penalties. That gap back to Tatch at the moment is about 2 seconds roughly. I think Tatch is just hoping at the moment that hash can pick up another 3 seconds. Then that second place is in fact possible. And K-Dog picking up 3 seconds there, unfortunate for her. Tough day again for the BWT Racing Point team. Super Nina still trying to find his way around Adaltonian. Adal's on those soft compounds as well. Although they are a lap older, and the medium should be lasting longer, so I mean, I couldn't tell you. So here we are on to our final lap. As you can see, JXW weaving his way through Sector 1. Saffron City picking up 3 seconds of time penalty. Now here comes hash 9211. Let's see how he handles Sector 1, see if he picks up another penalty. And no, he is really just going to nurse this thing around these 4 corners here to ensure that he doesn't get that penalty. Yeah, he is trying his hardest to just not make any mistakes. Again, though, some very aggressive driving there as JXW making his way into Sector 3. Got his teammate Swee ahead of him. JXW through 15. Doing a solid job here. Nina still looking for that position on Adel Tony as they head into the DRS section. Still no dice there, but JXW started on pole. Coming out of turn 20, the second win of the year for the Haas team, and JXW taking a commanding victory to get that position. MX has been disqualified from the session for picking up too many penalties. Tatch coming around turn 20. Hash 9211 is going to be getting that second spot. Sadistic King jumping onto the podium by just over half a second on Tatch. That is so unfortunate for him. So JXW in the Haas, the second win of the year for this Haas team. What an unbelievable drive he's had. Picking up very little penalties as well. Solid stuff from him. Absolutely wonderful. And I tell you what, this Haas team, can they still possibly make up some positions here? I mean, they're not that far off Renault to Red Bull. They'd have to do a little bit of work, but that is a solid result there from Haas. Surely going to be overtaking that Renault team. Well, I mean, I'm not too sure because you've got Super Nunes and AP7 finishing in the top 10, so I think Renault is going to hold on to that sixth spot in the constructor standings. So a very solid result again from the Haas team. So heartbreak for Tatch. Unbelievable amounts of bad luck for him, and he had a very solid day as well. I tell you what, I would put stock into this man right here. He had a lot of talented stuff happening for him today. Despite getting robbed of the podium on the penalties, I tell you what, that was a very, very promising drive, and there goes JXW on top of the podium. Very, very solid drive for the Haas team, and Ferrari Power yet again taking over the top steps on the podium. So we will get into our final results, and then we will get into our interviews if we are lucky enough to have them. Well, we are going to be going down through the running order. So JXW in the Haas taking the win, Hash 9211 in the Ferrari second, Sadistic King in third, Tatch in fourth, fifth Impossible Bacon, sixth is Ray 46, seventh is Super Nunes, eighth is Spool and Dub, ninth is Adel Tony, 10th is AP7, 11th is Saffron, 12th is Smith Powell, 13th Detail, 14th K-Dog, 15th Domingo, 16th Sui, 17th GDB, 18th Mahi, 19th is Heavy S. Quite an unfortunate day for the Racing Point team. And then rounding out the field in 20th is MX. And we will be getting to those interviews right now. Alright, so Sadistic King, let's start with you. I mean, you had a really solid day there, pretty much. I mean, it looked a little hairy at times. I mean, the penalties that everyone was getting. I mean, what was your strategy going into this race, honestly?
Survive and beat some of the Americans.
I mean, I tell you what, you did pretty solid at that, I will say.
I picked up 2 really stupid warnings for my penalties as well, which is kind of heartbreaking, but I tried to push really hard on my last stint to catch Hash in the hopes that he would get another penalty, but he didn't get one.
And yeah,
I managed to at least get to P3, so...
And I tell you what, that was a very close margin as well. Only half a second of difference between you and Tatch that was sitting in third at the time.
I didn't think I was going to do it.
I mean, I was looking at him and Hash the whole time, just trying to see if Hash was going to pick up that penalty. Like you said, I mean, that was kind of pretty much everyone from third on back was hoping for. But yeah, you've managed to pick up yet another podium. I mean, it's been a very solid year for you. So I mean, this, I don't want to speak too soon, but this is probably going to wrap up the driver's title for you, probably this race or the next one. So I mean, what a solid year it's been for you. And but we move on to the constructor standing. So you and AlphaTauri going into this race was tied for that third spot. AlphaTauri definitely not having the day they've wanted today. I think the Williams team probably the biggest winners today, and not too many races to go. I mean, how do you feel going into these final stretch of races?
I can't even remember what races are left, to be honest.
So we've got Silverstone, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi are our last three.
Well, Silverstone's meant to be like my home track since I'm from the UK, like Scotland. But I absolutely hate Silverstone. So I'm not expecting too much there, to be honest with you. I'm not very known for my pace there, so if I can finish in the points, I'll be happy.
Absolutely. And since I think you're going to be our only driver joining us for post-race interviews today, who you got going into this weekend for the Bahrain Grand Prix? There's a lot of hype surrounding this season. Who you got? Who do you think's going to come out on top?
People are going to hate me for this, but I'm probably one of the only people around that I actually really like Hamilton. So I'm going to say Hamilton. I like the guy. Some people hate him, but I like him. So.
Yeah, he's deserved his fair respect. And I mean, Verstappen is the. I do check this. He is the betting odds favorite going into the Bahrain Grand Prix. However, you never know what the Mercedes team can pull out of the out of the bag. So
I've never been a massive fan of Max. I don't believe the hype, so to speak. But he's still a really good driver.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No disputing that.
I think while Hamilton's still there, I don't think he's going to win much when Hamilton's still there.
Well, that is going to wrap it up for us here from the Circuit of Americas. Sadistic, thank you for joining me, and for everybody else, thank you for joining us yet again. Only 3 races left to go, and the battle for constructors still highly up for grabs here. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week from the Silverstone circuit in the UK.